Yeah, very well.
All right.
Yes.
Very good.
It might even be a little loud.
Does that help?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Very good. We ended in the Tower of Babel on the way to Rubicante as the fight you're going to do.
Okay, so I have Blake's hard cider caramel apple today. So am I gonna have to like beauty blogger this? Did it just show up? And then I also got Gosling's ginger beer. And I'm trying to figure out, is that too many things to mix? Ginger, caramel, apple.
Ooh, well, try it and find out.
Will I regret this?
I've got new
Mix a small amount.
I've got new stream technology today while Dana tries that drink out. I can now alter the volume of the speakers independently from the volume of the game as heard on the stream. Because I've done new, cooler things with my audio setup here. So I'm excited about that. And I can alter that without changing the way that the four of us hear things, which is really fun. So I can change their mix versus our mix independent now.
It's pretty magical.
I'm slowly getting better at this over time. In part so that I can keep up with my students. They're really talented this semester. So I have to come up with 15 weeks worth of content to teach in the streaming class.
Oh, this is a sad moment.
Yes, it is a sad
in the
moment.
game.
Starting right off.
Not what you were saying, but this in the game. Yeah.
Maybe also what he was saying.
Maybe also. Yeah.
Why can't I move you? Well, there you went.
Rules.
Oh, Elizabeth, I said I have to come up with 15 weeks worth of content for my semester every semester. That's just the way the semester works. But I'm having to come up with new content because my students this year are really good. And so I've been combining lab sheets. Like, they're doing 2 weeks of content every week now. And they're getting through it.
Ah, yes, semesters. I'm familiar with the concept.
Ah, yes, semesters.
Oh,
I've never been
I
on the
only
quarter
did-
system.
I only did 2.
Lucky you.
Same,
Let's
never
see,
the quarter
how
system.
did we do it? Did I do fall quarter? I'm trying to remember if it was in the middle of my first year at OSU or if it was the second year that we went back to semesters. So I had like a brief taste of how stressful quarters were. I wouldn't have minded them as an undergrad, but as a grad student trying to write like a full doctoral seminar paper, I hated it.
Does not work. It does not
Like,
work.
I barely got into the course content and I already had to have a paper topic, and that worked sometimes.
Yep.
But there were definitely semesters where I'm like, I don't know this stuff. Like, I'm
Yeah, like,
taking
why-
the seminar so I can learn this stuff.
This is technically not new music, but because this is a unique context, it always feels like a new piece to me right here. As we watch Edge's parents kind of, well, you'll see.
Aw.
Yep. It's so sad. This
I'm
is the
really-
death music.
Not a fan of parental harm these days.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can tell they're no longer human, right? They were experimented on by the creepy doctor we defeated 2 weeks ago.
Luge made chimera of his parents. My brother and I make fun of that particular voice acting line in Final Fantasy IV DS. He's not here, I don't think. But if he were, it was
He's busy
Luge who
planning a
made
wedding.
chimera. He is.
I hate how that rhymes because it's so comedically inappropriate given the actual
Right.
circumstances.
I know, that's why it's stupid. That's why we make fun of.
It's like there are times to be clever writers, and there's times not to do that.
There's times to shut it down.
Yeah.
I will
Rein
say
it in.
it's a very cool character moment that Rubicante here, who we're about to fight, did not know about this experiment and does not approve of it, right? There's like factions within the enemy ranks here. It's not everybody's terrible united.
It's like General Leo, you know?
It's kind of the first step towards that. Yeah.
You can complain about quarters all you like, anyone. I don't think there's anyone here that's like, oh, I prefer them. Like I said, I wouldn't have minded them as an undergrad. I don't know that I would have preferred them.
This is the only circumstance in gaming I can think of where, like, lead man gets angry, but it's positive.
Dormant power.
Anger evokes Edge's dormant powers. Yeah,
Edge
right?
smash.
Anger. Feel your anger.
And I also love that Rubicante heals you before you fight him.
Yeah.
I do.
He's
He's the only good one in that case.
I love how, like, his transformation is just to show you a cheeky bit of leg.
Yeah, it's the Angelina Jolie move.
It's
From
very
like
saucy.
the Oscars from like 2010 or something. Remember when she had that leg?
Yes,
It was a
yes.
whole meme. Yeah. That was Rubicante did it first.
Andrew,
Same.
we have not played Maniac Mansion on stream, to my knowledge. Unless we shenanigamed it, but I don't think we have.
No, I don't think we have, but we can put it on the list.
Yeah.
So,
Put it on the list.
It's hard.
So shall you play it? Shall you come and join us?
Yes. Bring Andrew out of the lair.
I was gonna say we gotta get Andrew out of the lair on the screen.
We have to do that for medieval. I really want us to do that.
Yeah, we may have to do some streams next semester for that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Hi, Anonymous. Oh no, the cloak is up. This is terrible.
Hey.
Hold on, I've mistimed everything. We're gonna heal him for a ton.
It is a lovely soundtrack. We've been enjoying the updates in the Pixel Remaster. This is...
I think they did a pretty good job with these arrangements, for the most part. There's like only one I didn't like. I don't even remember what it was.
It's the normal battle theme with the trumpet thing.
But that's more of a trolling, don't like it because you like it. But like a true don't like this arrangement, I can't think of one in this game. Some of the arrangements are pretty like straightforward and it's like, oh, you could have been more creative, but other than that, like, unlike the other Pixel remasters, there's some choices I'm like,
Yeah, I think Final Fantasy IV is safer than a lot of the other Pixel remasters so far. The trumpet flourishy stuff that I like aside. It doesn't do a lot of adding whole sections to songs the way the NES trilogy did. Hi, Darksword.
Hi, Darksword.
Hey.
Sort of because they had to, I guess they didn't have to, but to fill out those tracks more since they were NES tracks.
Yeah.
Oh,
Rats, that's gonna kill Radia. I've messed up.
Yeah, so I think Julianne missed the, maybe. Did you miss the drink description? No, you didn't. So it's Blake's Caramel Apple, and then Gosling Ginger Beer, and I have determined that the mixture is acceptable.
Oh, good.
And I have it in a fun
Nervous.
glass, so.
I mean, if it makes you, like, feel sick, it's okay because the ginger's in there, so it wouldn't do that or something.
I
don't know.
almost bought the sample pack of ranch water, just because there's been much discussion of it here.
Yeah,
and I didn't
so-
realize it came in other flavors than the one that's kind of mojito-y. Is that what you
Yeah,
have?
so the basic one is, so I have a Dos Equis brand ranch water. It's not very good. There's only one brand of ranch water that I think is any good, and I don't know what the brand is, I just know what it looks like. This one, it's okay. I'm drinking it.
I didn't realize that was like a category. I thought ranch water was the brand.
Actually, in the beginning, I did too, because I had not seen it or noticed it before I went to Texas.
Yeah,
Now
this
it's
place, the place I went today only had one brand of it, so I just assumed
Yeah.
that was the one. But yeah, they had the one that you've described that's got like lime and mint. And then they had a multi-pack that had that one, a spicy one, a prickly pear, and something else.
Gray? Like sort of gray or whitish.
There we go.
Remember?
Yes.
That's the one. That's the good one. If you're ever curious.
It seemed a little summery though, and I was trying to find I was actually trying to find the Mackenzie's pumpkin, which is like magic elixir, because I had seen SideQuest got it back in. It's available in Ohio again, but this particular store didn't have it. Yeah, ranch water. It's just like a hard seltzer, right?
Got like agave and lime. It's a hard seltzer, but it's like lighter than any other hard seltzer. You know, they can kind of be kind of gross. It's really light. I appreciate that. Oh, I love this track.
I love Mariachi Sid.
Yeah, this is Sid's track. The Ninja family doesn't really get their own piece of music here. This is the only time you see them.
Isn't this track called like Hey Sid or something in the original?
It is,
yeah. I think
we're gonna call it Hola Sid.
Hola Sid.
It is worth a note that this track, I talked about how they don't extend the tracks the way they do the NES trilogy. We do get two different verses, like two different loops for most tracks, which is kind of the standard now for porting an 8 and 16-bit game. But we don't get new melodic extensions very often in FF4 so far. I'm really curious to see what happens with FF5 and 6 moving forward.
I cannot wait. I can, because I'm so busy, but I can't.
And
I actually was watching... Oh, go ahead.
I think I've announced this already, but I don't think the four of us are planning on doing Final Fantasy V in full. I'm gonna do just a Twitch stream for mechanics and playthrough, because I do a lot of Final Fantasy V-ing on this stream anyway. Yeah. And if I see really cool individual pieces, we might take like the 15-minute goof-off time we do at the end of the streams lately to cover the really cool pieces from 5.
Do a compare and contrast.
Yeah, I like when we do that, like jukebox style.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, unless we get new music here, which I don't think.
We'll do the prelude later. No, it's the same. Go ahead.
Okay. I was watching a YouTube video today that was like a giant cider tasting. It was like a half-hour video. And so the one I went to look for in the store today was a Mass. Is the brand, and the specific flavor was called Sunshine, and it just sounded so good because it was mandarin, vanilla, and oak, and I was like, I need that. It sounds like creamsicle-y and wonderful.
Yeah.
But they didn't have it, and I don't want to order online. You have to order like a lot of it.
Yes.
I just bought orange vanilla seltzer at the store today. Because I like orange vanilla seltzer, but now I want to put it in like an oaken goblet.
Yeah.
Extract some of that, because there was a kombucha I got. Brew Doctor a couple years ago did one that was their winter one that had like a white oak, and it was the best. Not like a huge kombucha person. I'm pretty picky with it, but I loved that one, and I like special ordered it from Whole Foods. I got like a pack or something.
Oh no, it's the Dana Fade Away problem again.
Yeah, yep, same thing here.
It's
but it's because we're
again.
It's because we're doing the things through Skype.
Oh, because it sounds like the music gets louder and Dana gets softer.
I've lost Julianne too.
Oh no, I'm not losing Julianne yet.
Oh, okay. Just screaming into Ryan's ear only. Ah.
Yeah, pretty much.
The way it should be, Julianne.
The opposite of ASMR.
Right, I would agree with Kate. Some of them do have like a weird, kind of off taste. And the thing is, hard seltzer is like such a delicate thing. Like you kind of can't screw that up. It can go very badly. Like you can't cover it up the way you can a lot of other things.
So the next plot point that happens is we go into this castle. Sid fixes the airship so it can fly over lava. and we get sent to the sealed cave dungeon. If you look on the map here, I know, map stream and whatnot, it's the large area to the southwest, surrounded by mountains, like the landmass to our immediate southwest. For the sake of time, so we can finish this thing today, we will be returning to the title screen and loading a file at the end of that dungeon. There is no new music there. There's very little plot that happens in that dungeon until the end.
Yep.
So we will be loading a save file here. Yes, and we will be leaving the dungeon now. We fought the boss, which is a wall that will insta-kill you. Up this way. So we'll climb out of the dungeon now. This is just our cave theme again. Same party of 5, incidentally. There's no roster change just yet. Oh, rats. They're all attacking it. There we go. I will say, unless you're running for raw time, like I am now, I have another save file to load and prep to do this in 2 hours. You should take all the fights in here. They're very easy, and those bats are worth a ton of experience. Just don't run from stuff here. But we don't care about that right now, because I have done prep work. We only care about raw speed.
All those doors, man. I just remember, this being like the worst, scariest, most difficult dungeon. Those dang doors.
Yes, so the doors, you all see them all open. Julian's referring, they're all surprise fights against evil doors in this dungeon.
Trap doors. Yeah.
And the evil doors will eat you. They don't do damage, they just kill you.
Nice. Well, that's great.
And there's nothing you can do about that. They just kill you one at a time. You've got to out-damage the doors so your whole party doesn't get eaten by them. Due to the way bows and arrows have been changed, though, you can gun down the doors before they eat anybody here, because Rosa is a beast in this edition of the game.
Yep.
Right, here we go, the end. Now we've got our plot moment that I've wanted us to see.
I honestly don't understand how they get 0 sugar when it's alcohol. Does anybody know the science behind?
Yeah, I don't know. It's like
I don't know either.
It's like 1 or 2 grams of sugar and like 1 net carb or something. I don't know what they do.
Yeah, it's usually like a very small amount, but I've seen ones that say it's 0, and I'm like, how though?
Lies. 0.9. Yeah.
Or it's like no added sugar or something. But they're pretty low carb, and that's why I like them, because they don't tend to be all, I don't know.
So Kane steals the final crystal from you and takes it to Golbez. You're out of luck and screwed. I have never liked this plot point here. It's only done as an excuse to give you a baller temporary 5th character for the next dungeon coming up here.
Yee.
But it's never made sense to me, honestly. Like, you can't have a person get possessed twice in the same game. That's dumb.
I know, he's such a crappy.
And if the issue is he still wants Rosa for himself, like, betraying the whole party right now doesn't engender her to him. Right? She's not pumped about that.
No. Not so much.
The weak-o brain.
So now we go report our failure at that cave to the Dwarf King, which we will be doing. Yes, failing. It's the best.
Hi, I'm sorry. Okay. go to the moon.
And now in one of those things that could have been solved if you would just have a conversation before. Right? Where's the crystal you were supposed to get? Oh, we don't have it. Also, our fifth guy's gone. He has it now. Yeah.
This is a ranch water stream. Ew. The ranch water fountain.
So, note,
That's
this
a wedding
is
idea
the
for
inscription on Cecil's sword right now. It has been for like 8 hours. So, again, maybe you just show him what you're wearing before you go off adventuring.
Right. I like when it was translated as the maw of the dragon, because it is the mouth. It's in the mouth.
Yeah.
On the map, which is relevant. Not a map screen, but it is on the map. The shape of the dragon's mouth.
So, we must go to Mysidia right now. And we can do that. I like that Sid ends up trapped in the dwarf area for much of the game, by the way. I feel like he's an honorary dwarf in this game. He's bearded, right?
I was gonna say, are we gonna get some extra lore where he's related to the dwarves? I don't think
No, we do not. I just think that graphically he looks like one.
Yeah.
See, look at that. Total dwarf.
It's because... Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, Cool Ranch. Cool Ranch water.
Honestly, but anytime anybody talks about ranch water, I'm just like literally picturing Dorito flavored water in my mouth.
That's better than ranch dressing flavored water.
Yeah.
In
Yes,
your
it
mouth
is.
or anywhere.
Oh.
So that's
I
improvement.
feel like you could get away, like, if you were doing like a Bloody Mary bar and then you like rimmed it in Cool Ranch Doritos instead of salt, but they were like crushed real fine.
Oh yeah, that'd be good.
I bet that would be
That'd
amazing.
be good.
I am against Dorito flavored seltzer. I'm sorry.
No, not the seltzer. In a Bloody Mary bar.
Ryan's like, I'm so sorry, but Dorito flavored seltzer is gross.
I feel like I'm at the age where I can finally spiral back to Bloody Marys because I love everything that goes into them, and I don't like them. And I don't know why, and that bothers me because all the individual ingredients are fine.
Sid works until he passes out, by the way. Real academic here.
Oh wait, I love this moment. This is a good moment in the game. Musically. Besides this.
Because we get the town theme?
Oh.
No, hold on.
Okay.
Coming up. Oh, I guess it's not this point. It's at a different point. Maybe we passed it already.
What are you trying to do?
Dun dun dun.
Oh, it was earlier. It's when they think he's dead.
Oh,
but he's just
yes.
pink. But the death music plays, so it's like also musical comedy. So I
yes,
like
that's
that
the first time he passes out in bed there, not the second.
Yes, the first. So I don't think that happens in earlier Final Fantasy games, at least.
No, it never fakes you out until this game. That is true.
Yeah. There's just such a clever little use of the death music, which we get so much in this game because everyone's always dying. So it's actually extra funny because it's like, oh, of course he died too, but he doesn't. It's
yes,
just really
I agree. So we have to go to Mysidia, hear a bunch of cool new music, and then load a save file with me on the moon, having done all the side quests we just skipped.
Yay!
Before we go into Mysidia, though, I need to go grab a drink, so we all have to deal with the town theme for like 90 seconds.
Water.
I'll be right back. Not ranch water.
Ranch water.
Ranch water.
Ranch water.
But he'll have to make it the Midwestern way, because I'm guessing he doesn't have any ranch water in the house. So he's just gonna have to squirt.
Ew.
Pretty squirt.
Ugh.
Squirt is such a word. That's a word.
Pretty gross.
I have 2 ranch waters. One is from Ryan.
Perfect.
One is empty, actually.
I was gonna say my issue with Bloody Mary is actually that I'm not a big vodka fan, which is so silly to say because like it doesn't really taste like anything. But I guess that's what I don't like about it is it doesn't really bring any character to anything. So I like a Bloody Maria with tequila.
Yeah.
Or I'm like a total old lady and I just don't add alcohol to it. I just do like a Virgin Mary.
I mean, that's okay.
Because there are some darn good Bloody Mary mixes out there.
Tonight's drink is the Sam Adams Fest beer for Oktoberfest.
Okay.
Fest beer.
That's the shit.
Yeah.
Does it taste like sauerkraut?
Like fests?
And
Does it taste like a fest?
like accordion music?
Or Lederhosen?
Yes,
Maybe it
yes,
tastes
it does.
like Lederhosen.
Oh my gosh! Speaking of Lederhosen, I don't know if y'all have seen this before.
Ooh, careful what you come back to camera with, Dana.
Whee!
It better be a baby and some baby Lederhosen.
It's just baby Lederhosen.
We can't see it.
We
Oh
cannot see
no!
that.
Here, let me turn off my background.
Aww. Yeah, if you put it in front of yourself, it kind of works.
Yeah. That's cute.
Yeah. It's very cute. I was very excited to find this in the house. It's got
Very
the little
good.
shorts.
That's awesome.
That's
And
pretty cute.
The hat's in there too somewhere. Yeah, we have photos of him. It's actually from Mannheim, so it's
Nice.
where his Omi is from.
Aww.
Very
Nice.
cute.
The track's about to change to our big Sean Atkinson moment in gaming. He
Yeah.
Where's
writes
Sean
about
Atkinson on the stream?
he writes about the lunar whale theme here. I'm going to turn up the game volume for us a little
Lunar
bit,
Whale
and for the stream
is
a
such a
little
good
bit
theme.
more.
Sky topic.
My favorite theme in this game is coming up though, and it is the moon theme.
So here's our sky soaring topic, as he writes. Right here. And I love the big leaps upward. You're constantly ascending with this one.
Sky topic. It goes up.
that's
Yeah.
that's what he said.
After the fanfare. Hold on. Fanfare's cool too, though.
That's just cool.
There's a little more complexity in that fanfare right at the end. It hits a minor note that it does not in the original. Here we go, the lunar whale.
I'll have to re-listen. Hey.
Digga-digga-da, digga-digga-da, digga-digga-da. Yes. So good. And I like that the second loop of it now puts it on the piccolo so we continue to go up, right?
I know, you go up like timbrely and like registrally. Oh god, it's so good.
We'll wait for it to loop for a moment here. There we go. Alright. It's spectacular. We'll be hearing it a couple more times. But first... the stream has now
I know
caught
this
up
theme.
to my personal file.
There is no plagiarism in music. Fight me.
Change my mind.
Dana's theme, the moon theme.
Yes!
We'll listen to this for a moment before I fly over to where we need to be. I'm going to turn it
That's
up
such
for a little
a
bit
good
because it's
theme,
quiet
too.
for folks. Is that good, Skype friends?
I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Little Dance of the Sugar Plum very, very vibe in there.
Did you say the sugar plum furries?
Very. No, I don't want to think about
Furries.
the other that what you just said. I don't want to go there.
I
This is
love
a
it.
Christy
I love
Andrews
it so
hallucination.
much. Oh.
This is a lot of timpani.
It
Where's
is.
Doug?
I'm
It's
maxing
very
my
like
CPU
Super Mario
pretty hard
3
right now
Airship.
for some weird reason. Give me 1 second here.
This is definitely Super Mario 3 Airship vibe.
I love on the first repeat of this moment, we get a now.
Yeah.
That's not there on the repeat. Like it's absent right here.
But I think you get it in the original too.
Oh, damn, no, it is there. Alright.
I think that's in the original track too. Anyway. Oh, shut up! My computer is exploding. Shut the hell fuck. Okay. Shh.
Alright,
I
well.
don't want to update updates. The updater.
We will hear the moon theme again here, but first... Notice, by the way, how zoomed in our map is now on the right? Because the moon is smaller than the Earth. We're going to heal up very quickly, then we'll get going. And now we are going to race to the end of this game. I think I'm already level 65. I have some of the best gear in the game already from overfarming Bahamut's Lair. I think we'll be okay.
Cool.
When we go back to the moon the second time, we're going to stop at Bahamut's Lair so that we can hear the Summoned World music once. Because that's the track we skipped underground, is that whole area. Look at Rosa and Rydia swinging like giant melee warrior women now. They've both got Artemis arrows. Rosa has the Artemis bow as well, which is stupid.
It's just, yeah, they just own it so good. Ugh.
Oh, hold on. I'm actually going to use that right now. That's the rare item that is worth my time.
Oh.
I also enjoyed this track a lot. We hear this at the top of Mount Ordeals when we're doing those ordeals. We hear it now. It's
Yeah.
very, very thematic narrative.
Mm-hmm. Notice that Rosa is also faster than Edge now, which is stupid. That's normally not possible. We're just going to avoid the Flan fight. It takes longer. It is annoying that they make you traverse this cave system twice. This is like what Final Fantasy III gives to this game, is a long walk to the final dungeon. But it's a good experience and easy to do, so we're going to take all these fights.
Covered in bees.
Covered in bees.
I like my coffee like I like my women, with a spoon in them. Everything Eddie Izzard says is great, so.
Okay.
Alright.
That's that.
Again, we'll listen to the prelude theme on our next trip here. For now, we're going to get in and get out to keep things moving towards the end. We get to borrow the best character, God Tella. Oh, I mean Fusoya.
God
Old man
Oh
proxy.
yeah. I feel like the capitalizations in the middle of the name should affect how you pronounce it, but I'm not sure how.
Yeah, I don't know. This detail
I
that
said
it's between
Fusoya for that
Mars
reason.
and Jupiter, by the way, I don't think that's present in the Super Nintendo version. I think it is there in the DS remake. So you can place in where our translations are sourcing themselves from.
Wow, Julian.
You want to sleep a long slumber?
So the real bad guy is Zemus, not Golbez.
Oh no! Yeah, this is this whole plot. What the heck is on my?
Yeah, this is all the mic drops for the plot. Fusoya's
My
younger
true
brother,
dad,
Kuya.
yeah. So Ya must be the family name, because he's Fusoya and Kluya.
Right. Right. Cecil is one of his two children.
So Cecil's basically Superman, is what
And
we're
of
saying.
course, because there are no coincidences in video games, the other child... well, we'll see.
Who could it be? Be my friend.
Fusoya is a boss. He represents the sage
Not actually a
job
boss.
from Final Fantasy III. Despite the fact that Tello's job is sage, Fusoya actually has the goods, right? He's the sage of this game. So, like, Meteor, yeah, he can do it because he's a god from the moon. No problem. He's not going to keel over on you. Need Flare instead for Instacast, the one spell that Tella doesn't have? Oh, he's got that too. Get out of here. All
Yeah,
he's good.
he went to bed for years, like 100 years, so he's well rested.
Mhm.
Unlike some of y'all.
That's right. He's ready to cast
A
Meteor.
few.
Because he's been sleeping for 100 years. If I took a 100-year nap, I'd be ready to do that too.
Same. That's my only.
Now, in a normal playthrough, when you have not over-leveled to the point of absurdity, you should not immediately go back to your airship to go to Earth. You should, with Fusoya in your party, go fight Bahamut, because then you can cast Reflect twice. Rosa can do it, and Fusoya can do it. I've already fought him. We don't need to do that.
Okay. I forgot to do Bahamut in the end. Maybe I'll get back.
Bahamut in
All
this
these
game
desserts we can fight.
looks like a human instead of a dragon on the world map exploration screen, which is always interesting to me. The god of the summoned monsters. But again, like, we're so overpowered right now. Look, we're a higher level than Fusoya.
We did the I think I missed the stream where we did the cave of summons or whatever.
I did it off stream.
But that isn't that a unique track?
Bahamut's cave has the same track, so we just have to stop by there when we come back to the moon.
Oh, okay.
Like you do.
Yep. Alright, back to Earth now.
Here we go.
We just William Shatnered.
I was
That's
just
right.
gonna say the same thing.
Didn't he just,
10
like,
minutes.
just turn 90 or something?
He did.
Yeah.
He's the oldest person to ever go to
He's an
space.
old man.
Oh, too late. We're gonna have
March,
to deal with
March
the giant.
22nd. Okay. I feel like I just saw something that I didn't realize he was 90.
Now, in the original, the giant has a really janky walk animation, followed by an awkward, like, circular shooting pattern. Oh, good. We get that. Good, good, good.
Yeah, I'm like, I think it's. I love
As you
this
can
part.
see here, They've not improved that very much. The laser actually moves at a higher frame rate here than it does in the original.
Yeah.
The Giant of Babel has borrowed a page from Lavos now.
I was just gonna say that.
That's very
Lavos.
Lavos.
Big Lavos energy here.
Chrono Trigger Pixel Remaster, anybody?
Everybody.
Yeah, I would be interested in the musical rearrangement.
I mean, I think it's going to be interesting because, like, that's not as orchestral, so that would be an interesting how they would do that.
It's also not tile-based like these 6 games are. It's already kind of looks like more like a Sega Saturn title than a Super Nintendo game. I don't know how you improve on that pixel art.
I know. Could be.
Alright, so this is our big ending sequence here. All of the characters who have died, except for Tella, haven't actually died. They're all coming back to get us into the Giant to begin the endgame sequence here. So we got the tanks coming in. We have the Red Wings back on our side now that we've liberated Baron. Dark Sword, that's true. Except the music isn't redone. But yeah, the PC version of Chrono Trigger, now that they've patched it up, is very good. And yes, Dark Sword's absolutely correct that fixing the PC port of Chrono Trigger is a big part of why we have these 6 games coming out now. New track.
Oh god.
I'm really excited for this one too. It's the least orchestral track in the game. Yeah. Love it. Again, yes, good. We're just gonna listen for a moment, team. Ooh, Theremin.
Yeah.
Hello. Hello, Star Trek.
That's Moon talking.
That's the Moon talking.
The arpeggios here underneath the theremin come back in Final Fantasy V, so I've been interested to hear that.
Interesting.
Alright. I love keep your beard on.
It's a great thing to tell someone.
Piano.
I'm gonna wait for just a minute because this track ends very shortly. I want to hear it in its entirety here.
Yes.
I love a third verse of these pieces. There's our loop. Okay. Very good.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go be wildly overpowered.
Yeah.
Yes.
So this, as a kid, made me laugh because you get the neck of the giant, and then you get the chest of the giant. So you keep going down, and then you become immature. And as a kid, it made me laugh, and as an adult, it made me laugh too. I don't think they even changed the translation.
Usoya swinging for 53 damage is what mages are supposed to do. Again, the ladies have been kitted out with gear.
Man, auto battle is the best thing that happened to these remasters.
Yes.
So good.
It'll just continue to input the last command you did. But there's a lot of battles where you just want to physically attack with everyone, colloquially known as Alpha Strike. And that's comes to us from Magic the Gathering, incidentally. And I can just press the button.
For the way I play every game, which is attack, 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 attack.
And now it'll just move at double speed. It's very good for our purposes.
Yeah, the faster speed is so useful. Oh man. Especially in Final Fantasy 1.
Yeah, what's funny is that Yoichi arrow is useless to us because I already have Artemis arrows, the best arrows for everybody. Again, over-farming during that brief time we were on the moon.
Farming on the moon.
That's right, I was growing arrows on the moon. On my arrow farm. Fighting a lot of space Valkyries to get arrows. You know, as you do.
We should one day do, when all the Pixel remasters come out, compare the victory fanfare between them all, because I think they're different.
They are different.
I mean, they're different in the original games, but like I suppose they didn't necessarily have to change them. But I like that they still did. They still arranged them differently for the different games.
Oh, we're gonna run from a back attack. I'm not dealing with
Yeah, something
that.
like that would be fine. Or like the various installments of the Prelude.
Yeah.
Yes, like the tracks that are
Chocobo themes.
seemingly the same. Chocobo themes.
We
So
can
those are supposed to
absolutely
have
do
different
that.
genres to them anyway, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
After
they always
6
have a
comes
little
out.
bit. They obviously have more
Chocobo themes
stylists.
are a great study for like new genre, I guess. Like, how do you turn one melody into
That's like franchise studies up in there. Like, kind of handling themes across different generations of the title.
It sounds like probably.
The real games franchise to watch on that type of line of thought is
Yoshi Story.
now that Sugiyama has passed away, what is Dragon Quest XII gonna sound like?
Right, because there was so much about, like, orchestral versus MIDI, right?
Yeah.
In that series.
Notice Rosa for 6,000 against the Mechanical Dragon. That's 2 Cecils of damage. She's so good right now.
Yeah.
That should be a unit.
It sounds like one.
I would like
legit.
2 Cecils of bourbon in a glass.
I just saw your tweet. Going on up.
Oh, Sugiyama already wrote music for 12. I did not know that.
I just needed to tag Sean Atkinson. I have a reason to tag him.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. I had to do it.
He better like it.
He better like
really do Twitter.
I know, but I don't. You better see it in 5 months and like it.
Yeah, maybe he'll get a notification that he was tagged in something, and then he'll go look. What a reason to sign on to Twitter.
Here's Bahamut once, so we see it. It's cool. There we go.
Speaking of avian chaos, that came up in seminar the other day because somebody made like a band name joke about something, and so I explained briefly that our band name from streaming is Avian Chaos from Chrono Trigger.
Yes, glad that came up.
Amazing, let's save.
Are we trying to lure Frank to the dark side of Ludo? I assume we're talking about Frank Lehman, right?
Oh, totally. Yeah.
I wouldn't mind him in our corner.
Yeah, for sure.
Frank is awesome.
I don't think anyone would mind seeing him show up.
Alright, here's our repeat boss fight. I think, for what it's worth, it has been my take for a long time that Frank is the most talented presenter in either music theory or musicology that we've got right now.
He's amazing. Incredible transcriber, too.
Everything I've seen of his is great. Presenting and otherwise.
And I know that there's a lot of really smart people in our field, but not everybody is really smart about the way they present it, frankly.
Yes. Like, he actually makes that really complex stuff acceptable.
Yes.
Yeah, there's
not
complicated stuff that I can't follow. He's not one of them.
Like, in a legitimately interesting follow it. It's not
his
just
online catalogs are really good, too. While I
Yeah.
fight these 4 elemental fiends simultaneously, could one of you link the Star Wars catalog in the chat?
Yeah.
This fight is not particularly interesting, especially now that I'm, like, effectively a god.
In the game.
It's so good. And it's just available. Like, such a resource.
Oh, wow. Holy heals it. Holy cow. Learn something new.
He's done other ones.
Excuse me, every day. Excuse me for sneezing, by the way. I'm sorry.
Bless yourself, God.
It just occurred to me that based on his Home Alone thematic catalog, I could very easily create a string quartet if he's got chord notation in here.
Yeah.
Bam.
That would be nice in my Christmas binders.
Stick that in your Christmas binder.
Exactly.
The Home Alone Christmas song is the best Christmas song.
I love Home Alone 1 soundtrack. I guess I haven't really listened to the soundtrack. But...
Christmas Star from Home Alone 2 is very good. It's not quite as incredibly excellent as the Home Alone 1 piece. Somewhere in my memories, right?
Yeah.
Somewhere in my memories with lyrics to that.
Right. That's all you need to know. Those are the only words that matter.
Oh, really quickly, notice that
Like, ba, 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 ba.
it's not about me being over-leveled. Fusoya runs out of magic before Rydia does. Again, the maximum number of magic points continues to serve as a marker of age. The youthful and charismatic have more magic. Fusoya and Tella have instant access to everything but less use of it. Leveling Rydia and Rosa essentially gives you infinite casts of magic, as you can see.
That's why youth is wasted on the young.
Mm-hmm.
You know all these magics, but you can't cast. God, it's so real. I mean, I'm not that old, but still, it's so real.
I was gonna say, aren't you the youngest person on this stream by like 4 years?
By like 1 year, maybe. Maybe less.
Baby Julianne.
We gotta get Joe to stream with us, then he won't feel
Yeah,
young.
he's like 21. 21.
Right, gotta heal up that magic.
90s or something crazy, right?
Yeah, he was born in
90s.
December 91, almost 92.
Oh my god. Oh,
I don't know what to do with that
It hurts.
information.
Oh, it hurts me.
Born in the
Yeah,
90s.
he's gonna be 30 this year, y'all.
Born in the 2000s don't exist, and that is the truth.
I wish COVID weren't still raging, because I had planned a pretty epic 30th birthday party for him, and I don't know that it's going to be able to happen.
Mm.
Wait, what day in December again?
The 13th.
Alright, still Sagittarius with me. Yeah.
Is that Sagittarius territory?
Yeah.
I guess Josephine would be a Sagittarius with y'all too, because she's son of November.
Oh yeah. Wait, yeah, she is. Or is she a late Scorpio?
I don't think so, because she's 28, so
Wait, what day? 28th, you say?
yeah,
29th?
pretty late.
That's Sagittarius. Yeah. Sagittarius.
You cannot use magic
I
on this or it
just
goes
my
nuts,
crib.
by the way. You must just physically attack it and slowly let it kill individual characters.
Well, you gotta keep the attack mode on, alive.
Yeah, if I would have left
Well,
the attack
Julianne-
node alive, then it would not be insta-killing my characters. That's correct. I goofed.
The first horoscope that I
actually
pulled up. Here's your horoscope for
Never
today.
happened.
If you're in the mood for love,
Oh.
remember to be sensitive to your partner's needs and give lots of love in return. Don't forget that the old standbys of champagne and chocolate still work, or a warm bubble bath. This is horoscope.com, y'all. that is Julianne's horoscope. Whereas mine is telling me, asking if I've resolved to clean my house, and then to tell me to use natural cleaners if possible. So mine has something to do with
Alright, there we go. Boss done.
Andrew, I don't see lucky numbers on this site. There's a tarot card of the day. Right?
Now we've got an hour to go blow through the last dungeon and finish the game. We can do that.
It gives
Okay.
you star ratings on your general vibe, your hustle, your success. You have a 3 out of 5 vibe today, Julianne.
That tracks.
And a 2 out of 5 hustle.
Oh yeah, no, I had no motivation today. That's actually true. It should have been 1 out of 5.
So look, Fusoya can cure Golbez of his possession by Zemus, so our Oregon-themed bad guy is going to become a good guy now.
What came over me?
They're filled with so much hatred.
Now,
See someone.
now that we
Facebook
have
called their
them
husband their
juxtaposed
hubby?
against each other, by the way, note that Golbez's sprite looks like a super Dark Knight from Cecil's intro to the game. Right? Golbez is that path continued.
Yeah.
And Cecil is the redeemed paladin.
Oh my goodness. I didn't see it coming.
They talk about that.
I
really didn't.
they talk about that in FF4 The After Years, which everybody except for me absolutely despises.
I still haven't played it because everyone says they hate it. So I'm like, well, I don't want to ruin FF4, but I want to play it.
So if you like Chrono Trigger's team-based combat, where like you have double techs and triple techs, they add that system on top of the Final Fantasy IV combat engine, and it's brilliant. The catch is that the last dungeon requires an inordinate amount of grinding. I love grinding in role-playing games, and you can't do it.
I do love grinding. So if that's the requirement, I'm so game.
That's why people don't like it, is because you have to play a lot of it.
I'm like, well, sorry. I will then.
You should absolutely play the PSP version of it, though. It's very, very good. But look who it is. It's Kane. Yeah, Darth Plagueis, the moon phases affecting your combat stats isn't certainly an interesting choice. I kind of like it. It gives certain fights a strategic advantage or disadvantage. The downside is you have to have a lot of tents to be able to cycle the moon phase.
Mm-hmm. So many tanks.
The first 6 chapters of After Years are all excellent, though. It's the last chapter where all of the character arcs combine into one that gets difficult quickly.
Yeah, I will say, to this person's credit, they don't bother me about it. They just talk about it on Instagram all the time. They've never asked me to buy their protein powders.
I definitely was like in middle school and high school, like Jersey Shore level grinding. It was very popular in the 2000s. But like just with my friends, you know, like it wasn't weird. But I also love grinding in video games, which is what we were actually talking about. There's that.
I remember it getting banned at school dances. You know, in one of those, like, how did the adults even learn this word kind of ways.
Yeah.
Am I misremembering that Golbez died in the original?
You are.
And didn't just say see you later? Like see you soon.
Golbez does not die as part of this.
Oh. I hope I didn't write that in my chapter.
I'm teaching your Final Fantasy IV chapter in a week and a half, so I'll tell you.
Please don't tell me.
Yeah, that's worse because it's out there and you can't fix it.
Just issue an errata in the next Rutledge book, because there's going to be like 12 of them, I'm sure.
Also, I hated this before when the women were just the mages. I hate it even more now that they're also the best physical attackers. Like, getting rid of the women so they can go to the moon and save the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, that killed me. I was like, no.
Historically, you know what? Going without a white mage is not a good effing idea. Right? What are they going to do against, like, Death Blast, the boss, where his only move is Death Blast forever?
Yeah, like, seems like that's
yeah, not thinking this through. That's exactly what I mean, yes. Let's go!
Not a good effing.
You'll notice I don't get control again, though. They never actually remove them from the party, right? So...
Brasso RPG chapter.pdf. Here it is. Okay.
Oof. Don't look that up on
the last 2 or 3 times, Anthony Dennis, that I have taught Julianne's chapter, it's been with Julianne as a guest. So...
Nice.
Yes, no matter what happens, I want to be with you.
No, I didn't. I didn't say that he died.
Good.
Good.
I just said, Golbez and Fusoya defeat Zemus, who resurrects into Zeromus. Yes, okay, there we go. And then, yeah, because that's what happens. Guess what? I'm not stupid.
More kissing. All right.
Woo!
Oh, and then Rydia too.
What?
Yeah, Rydia's like, I can summon Bahamut, and you can't. I'm more important than you,
like,
loser prince, man.
You guys are so dumb.
Right?
Of course,
it's like
I stowed away.
The woman who can heal the whole party, and the one who can summon a god to do her bidding. We don't need those two.
Yeah.
They're not important. All right. I did promise we would briefly fly over and visit Bahamut's cave. Let's do that. That's this way.
Meow, 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 meow. That's...
Gotta hear all the music, right? So... Here it is.
Interesting. Are we shakuhachiing here?
Or is this
something else?
That's what it sounds like to me.
This feels like a shakuhachi to me. Or panpipes, right?
Yeah, yeah. Could we listen to the original? Do you have the ability to cue that up?
I do if you give me a minute, yeah.
What is the arpeggiating instrument?
Good question that I don't know the answer to.
That just some sort of...
It's hard to tell, but I almost hear like a koto kind of articulation.
Yeah, I was like, is this like a vaguely like supposed to code Japanese music a little bit? But I can't really tell. That's definitely not what the original.
I mean, it could be like another plucked. I'm hearing some kind of plucked thing, but it has almost the sharpness.
This is the original, everybody?
Yeah. It's just harp.
It is just harp in the original.
Yeah.
And like vague.
This specific arpeggio here comes back in, I think, Phoenix Cave in Final Fantasy VI. There's a spot for this chord progression. These orchestra samples really show their age compared to the Pixel Remaster in an A/B test, don't they?
I was just gonna say, it sounds so good still.
I don't hate it.
I like it.
I'm so impressed. With what you can... What is this, 91?
It is 91 or 92, yeah. I don't... Again, I'm not, like, angry at it, but you can tell that this is from the early 90s when you listen to it.
True.
As opposed to this edition of the work, right?
I mean, I could say that's the early 90s too. But yeah, in video game world.
Right.
Yeah.
Alright, onward to the last dungeon. I do think it's an interesting choice to move away from the brass sample and towards the shakuhachi there.
Mm-hmm.
All right, again, eking, eking out the last bits of experience. We will take fights on the way here, as long as they're not flans.
As long as they're not flans.
That's right, flans are terrible. Everything else is killable, so we will kill them. No, Darth Plagueis, arrows are infinite in the Pixel Remaster of this game. That's what makes the ladies so good. So you just have arrows, and they work like Final Fantasy V, not like Final Fantasy IV. It's spectacular, and it effectively triples the ladies' utility.
Yep.
What that means for farming, by the way, in the end game, is in the final dungeon and in Bahamut's Cave, where I got them, the Valkyrie enemies have a pretty reasonable chance of dropping what used to be a bundle of 10 Artemis arrows, and it used to not matter, because 10 combat actions is like 2 fights. But now, if they ever drop Artemis arrows, you have them permanently, and it's the best upgrade in the whole game.
Yep. Yeah.
Pretty exciting.
They do lower the magical output of both Rosa and Rydia, so their spells become much less effective. The trade for that is they become much, much faster. So that with Artemis Bow and Artemis Arrows equipped, Rosa is faster than Edge now, so I don't care if her healing is a little bit worse per round. She gets more turns, and it's good.
Yep.
If you ever play the randomizer to Final Fantasy IV, make sure to talk to these crystals, and they will teach you the art of agility gating, which is how you set one character's agility much lower to make everybody else much faster, because the Super Nintendo version works weirdly. I've not checked if that holds true here, because frankly I don't need to. I'm already great.
I did not know that.
Remaster, I just saw that when I looked over. Hi, Pete!
Hi, Pete.
Hello, Pete.
Julian, it only matters for 2 fights, really. The agility gating thing. The catch is that one of those fights is Zeromus himself.
Yeah.
Because, spoilers, he's hard. Right? The other one is the randomly placed Golbez fight with the black dragon that eats everybody. Because then you can get enough extra turns, you can fight the dragon early. Where is... Here it is. Okay. We will go this way first. It's this combination fight that I did forever and forever, by the way. The Valkyrie and the Mage.
Have I ever given my probably blasphemous take?
On which?
Final Fantasy?
No.
The Prelude does not do it for me in the slightest.
Oh, I really like it. You don't like the melody that comes in on the top of it either? It feels like a chord
progression that didn't get enough of a melody over it. Like, I know the melody comes in, but it does nothing.
Yeah, well, as like a standalone track, it's like whatever. I like some forms of it when it's in like melodies, and it's sort of like a marker of Final Fantasy-ness. Other than that, it's just like whatever. All right, yep, that's true. That's the prelude. Okay.
Like in terms of, you know, again, franchise identity, there is stuff that I think is more effective in like Dragon Quest on that front. I don't know. I think part of it is just
like
that
Zelda.
they don't tend to mess with the prelude very much. You know? I don't think I've ever heard an arrangement of it and been like, oh, that's a weird take on that. You know, like, that's really different. It's like always kind of the same timbres. Even if they update it a little bit. It's just kind of a safe track. It's sacrilegious to mess with it, but
Yeah, I can see that.
but I've never been wowed by it, so.
I will say if I had to choose one, I think the prologue is an all-time wonderful track in gaming.
The prologue to the theme, you mean, with the Red Wing stuff?
The da 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 da.
Yeah. Yes, I think that one is far better, and I wish it were used in more of the games. Like the prelude coming in and getting used across so many titles. Like, I don't know. I feel like it was the wrong choice.
There are a couple times when the prelude chord progression changes, and every time that occurs, it's spectacularly good. There's a particular moment in Final Fantasy IX at the very end of the game where they start making it all minor and diminished and freaky in the memorial.
Did I like that? I'm trying to remember who played it.
You did like that a ton.
I may have liked that.
And then
Yeah.
the title screen to Final Fantasy XIV, A Realm Reborn, has a very cool arrangement of that as well. Look at Rydia, 5,000 damage to that wizard. Just get wrecked. I love that the music stops when you talk to the sword. You're like, you will die now.
It's not even like, I challenge you to whatever. It's just like, no, you're gonna die. Sorry.
Right.
Womp womp womp.
Here's death for you.
Oh crap, never mind. She can just melee attack this now because she has Artemis arrows. Very good.
This is a huge question. The idea of bugs from the console era, where you couldn't just do like day one patches, you know?
Yeah.
So the game had to actually be done, bugs and all. And they could release like subsequent versions, but if you bought that cartridge, you bought that cartridge.
Yeah.
And whether when we then make all of these new versions or, port them or do different things, like, do you preserve that? Do you fix it? Or do you do both and like give the player an option in the menu?
So, here's my take on it. I don't think, there we go, that
like,
cartridges were as immutable
as
we like to think they were. Case in point with this franchise specifically, Final Fantasy VI on Super Nintendo had 2 different patches released. Right? There's a 1.0 version of Final Fantasy VI, and there's a 1.1 version of Final Fantasy VI. They never tell you. They never tell you which version your cartridge is, but there are 2 different runs of Final Fantasy VI. And the original one has Realm's sketch bug active, and the 1.1 release
that's definitely mine.
fixes it so that you can't mess up your game with it anymore.
Yeah.
Certain bugs have been preserved across multiple re-releases. You're stealing my thunder, Darth Plagueis. But yes, you can, in fact, in almost every edition of the game, and I don't know about this one yet, we'll find out. But in the PSP release of Final Fantasy IV, you can half the damage of Big Bang, which is Zeromiss's big Cloud of Darkness get effed move that we're going to be fighting in about 15 minutes. If between him shaking and vibrating, getting ready to cast, and him casting, if you hit him with a magical spell, Big Bang's damage will be cut in half. It's never told to you that that's the case. There were a lot of schoolyard rumors about how you could get the half damage one, but that's how to do it. And it's important in the context of the randomizer, of course, because if you can just... Oh, crap, I'm wasting shurikens. Hold on. I need to focus for 1 second. That's why I bought 40 of this team. Alright, there we go. You can complete the game at a significantly lower level if you cause Zeramis to only do half damage. Right? Because that's an HP check. Either you can survive that, or you can't, and you will die. And it's preferable, of course, to be on the surviving side of that move. But in the Super Nintendo, the Game Boy Advance, and the PSP ports, you can do that. I can't speak to the WonderSwan edition, though I assume that's the case there. And the 3DS version, you cannot. The 3DS version will kill you.
Yeah, so, I mean, ultimately it's a question about, like, what's the authoritative version? But there are plenty of games that, the bug becomes kind of like a legend unto itself, or it gets employed in some way, by speedrunners or otherwise, and then at that point, like, fixing it for a subsequent release doesn't make sense. So I'm kind of in favor of, like, the approach, having, like, a play the original. Having that be a menu where you can do, like...
For me, it really comes down to what the bug is.
Because on these games, it's often not, like... It's often not, like, an incredibly complicated fix, as I understand it. I mean, I guess it depends what the bug is, but some of them are pretty small.
I will say, the way all the formulas are calculated in Final Fantasy IV, I'd frankly be shocked if they changed the way agility gating works. I'd be shocked if they fixed the Big Bang thing, though we will find out very shortly. In Final Fantasy VI, the Game Boy Advance version actually changes a lot of things around. And I will be very upset if we revert to the Super Nintendo version in terms of how the gameplay code functions. Because I really think that the intended behavior was the Game Boy Advance, and there are errors in the Super Nintendo code that prevent us from experiencing the game in what I would describe as its entirety. Specifically in Final Fantasy VI. Well, when I'm running through the dungeon fighting normal things, we'll talk about this instead. Final Fantasy VI's evade stat, and there are a lot of pieces of equipment that manipulate that number. It feels very important. It is not. Everything tied to evasion in Final Fantasy VI Super Nintendo is accidentally assigned to magical evasion instead, which moves certain characters up and down the list of who is good and who is bad significantly. Shadow, for instance, who can hit a very high natural evasion score, but sucks at magical evasion, is terrible in the Super Nintendo game. In the Game Boy Advance version, he's one of the game's best characters. Similarly, as a result... Oh wait, I need to not auto-attack with everybody here, that's dumb. Hold on. I think only Cecil gets to strike here. Yeah. Go. Okay. Similarly, blindness, therefore, does nothing in the Super Nintendo edition of the game.
Right.
In Final Fantasy V, slightly less crucially, there's an error in the way dagger damage is counted. So that if daggers use the formula they're supposed to, they do more damage than swords, generally speaking, which is probably not the intended behavior. So I wouldn't be upset if they didn't fix that one. Everyone must attack again. Give me 1 second. Also,
but without
in
having the original, without having the original programmers on the team, how do you privilege, bugs, like bugs versus ones that became sort of features on their own?
Well, and the evade stat is something that I feel like you can very clearly see what the developers wanted to do, because again, you can track how those numbers are manipulated. That's not always the case. You're absolutely right. It's not always clear, right? And making those decisions on edge cases gets dicey really quickly.
And just from the standpoint of, like, I don't know, archival, you know, preservation of source code, do we then make sure that we have all of the source codes with any bug fixes or changes between different versions, or, you know, what's the version that gets canonized and thrown in the museum? The strong museum, I guess, in this case.
Yeah.
I don't think we're in danger of losing the originals ever, for what it's worth.
If anyone has read his book on the video game Afterlife, it's fantastic.
Have not. I shall add that to my list.
Oh my gosh, let me link it. It is one of my favorite video game things I've ever read, and I don't often get to, like, cite it directly, but I think, like, in a lot of ways it has kind of informed things that I like to think about. Whoa! Must be out of print, because on Amazon the hardcover is going for $775.
Wow.
Holy
The paperback
smokes.
is $35.70. So
Wow.
save yourself several $100s. Also, you know, buy independent if you can. Get a local bookstore to order it for you. Yeah, Game After, Cultural Study of Video Game Afterlife. It's so good. It's such a good book.
I will add that to my cart. 775. You're lovely.
Yeah. It's a lot.
Amazon's so weird. Okay.
I guess you could also get it from MIT. Oh, they basically just have books everywhere else. Yeah. I was seeing if the MIT site had the table of contents, but yeah, it's got, you know, all sorts of things about, like physical preservation, but also like this sort of digital, like, how do you preserve source code? What do you do about, like, multiplayer online gaming? Like, you could preserve the space, but then nobody's in it. So you lose everything about.
One of my students had a really interesting way to address that multiplayer gaming preservation question today in class.
Oh yeah.
He talked about the original Guild Wars, the servers for which are technically still live. You could play that, but it's essentially a defunct game now. And there was a quest very early on where you absolutely had to partner with a second person to get the revive fellow person spell, which is, for what should be obvious reasons, a useful thing to have in this game. And the community solved it by creating a bot account that just says, "I pull levers good," is the name of this account. And if you talk to him, he will immediately go and pull the relevant lever for you and then walk back to town. And the developers, in a sweep of, like, clearing random bot accounts off of the platform, which all the big MMOs do from time to time, they've specifically whitelisted that bot, which is fascinating to me.
There was a really good... Does anyone listen to Reply All, the podcast?
Mm-mm.
Nope.
It's folks who talk about internet-y things, broadly. Which there's actually one segment called Yes, Yes, No, and it is where the host's boss will come to them with, like, some sort of weird tweet that he doesn't understand, usually because it's referencing, like, all these memes and, like, meta things, and the other two have to, like, explain it to him. So they want to get to yes, 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 where they all understand the tweet. At the end, they make the boss, like, explain it back once they give him the context. But it's fun for anyone that, like, spends enough time in those spaces to kind of know
you only find one of these items in the whole game. It causes a random battle. It doesn't seem useful, but it causes a specific random battle. If you use it in this room and this room only, you will fight
the room. I was like, I don't remember what
princesses.
room it is.
So the episode that I was thinking of recently is called I Am Not a Bot, and it's basically about Team Fortress 2 getting completely destroyed by bots.
Nice.
Really good episode. I'll link it.
Without the siren item, there is only a 1 in 64 chance of getting this fight. And these enemies each have a 1 in 64 chance of dropping a certain item. I want to get that item.
Yes. I forgot what that room was and everything, and I didn't
If you do the math on it, that gives you a 1 in 4,096 chance to get the pink tail. We'll see how I did. Nope, lose. Okay, well, not this playthrough. If you go back to Earth, there's somebody who, like, you trade tails to. That's how you unlock Excalibur in this game. And he will straight up give you this armor that absorbs every element, has double the defense of Cecil's crystal armor physically, and anybody can equip it. It's essentially a cheat code.
That's fun.
But alas, no adamant plate for us this run. And on principle, I refuse to farm for it more than you've already seen me do. Also, in this dungeon, I took a fight on the tile, actually, so you'll see it right after the fight. The only spot in the game that is straight up bullshit when it comes to a hidden passageway. Boop. There's a bridge between those two zones. And there's a hidden area over here.
Oh.
Alright, again, trying to move as quickly as possible here.
Doobie 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 da doo booty dooey.
You know what? I just don't need this. Let's go. No back attacks.
Back attacks.
Oh, he can't be hit by it anymore. Oops. You know what? That's okay. We'll just fast forward now. It'll happen.
Bing, bang, bang, bang. Bing, 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 bing.
I love fast forward. It's so good.
Deeply good.
That's the other protect ring. It can go right here.
Ding dong 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 dong.
The reason there's a save point right here is because this is, for many people, the hardest fight in the game right here.
But not you. You're about to flex on all of us.
I hope so. I need to explain the trick before I do it. You cannot run from bosses in this game. It comes up with an error message, says you can't do it. While that error message is displayed on the screen, the boss's ATB bar will not shift, but yours will. Now, you can exploit this here and only here in this fight only. And what you can do if you're really feeling yourself here is you can use items that cast Reflect on yourself early.
You're really feeling yourself.
Sorry, I'm a fighting game player all of a sudden. Because I need to be. Oh, I got 2. 2's not bad. That's pretty good for this. Only Rydia dies. We can live with that. That's acceptable. Now, everybody else has got to be healed. Edge is going to take a turn. I think it triggers Mega Flare again, actually, to slow him, so I'm not going to do it. We're just going to bury this guy in damage.
Yeah.
In fact, Rosa should do a... Oh, yeah, God.
Dana, what?
The Artemis bow flexes on the Wyvern, on Dark Bahamut. Look at that damage from Rosa. 9,000, 7,600. Rosa is the answer to everything in this edition of the game. Holy smokes. I'm gonna kill it before it gets another attack off at this rate.
Yeah.
Now, does Rosa die from that single strike? No, whatever, we're fine. This thing is done.
Yeah, Rosa.
So, Rosa plus a little run trick, and we've got the Ragnarok Blade.
Ragnarok.
I actually feel really good about the way that fight went down this time. So it's almost 50 points better than Excalibur. It's stupidly good. It's also, we can do that now. And... No, sorry, I want 3 in the back row. Yeah. Kane just jumps all the time anyway. And Cecil now is good from the back row. No, that's dumb. The Ragnarok Blade should not do that. But it does.
Ranch water is only inspired by regular ranch water. No wonder it tastes weird.
Alright, now we're going to cast Warp a few times, I think 6 times, right? It takes you to the previous floor you were on. It is only useful here. Though on the Super Nintendo edition of the game, it can be used to skip a dungeon and sequence break the game, so it's probably useful there as well. That glitch was removed here, I checked. That is also probably, Dana, a glitch that is worth removing for what it's worth. This is not designed to be a Metroid game, right? You don't want to sequence break the thing.
Fine.
Huh. I guess originally ranch water it had nothing to do with, like, well, it does have seltzer in it. It's kind of like a cousin of a margarita. It's a cocktail that has tequila, lime juice, Topo Chico, specifically, and lime wedge. But I guess the Lone River, that's the black and white one that you've mentioned, right?
Yes, that's the one I like. I think this one doesn't have, I don't know, it just says water, alcohol, natural flavors. So it's not...
I want to try the spicy one because it has jalapeno in it.
I like the spicy a lot. I think that's the best. And I'm not a spicy person.
Too. But I think you
I
can
am
only
white
get
bread.
that in the variety. It doesn't look like they sell
Yeah,
the
I don't think I've seen that separate. So only the variety pack.
Oh yeah, featuring exclusive flavor, but then you only get 3 of them. That's what I hate about that shit. Like, don't just make things available in a multi-pack. What if I only want that one?
I know, but they're all pretty good. But spicy is different.
Quick gameplay mechanics update. The Ragnarok Blade is not good from the back row in this edition of the game. Don't know why they made the change, but they did.
Was it supposed to be a front row, back row, equal goodness blade? I don't remember.
In the Super Nintendo version, you could put Cecil in the back row, give him infinite physical defense, and still swing for max damage. Here, it does not appear that that's the case. Alright, I've got cheesy strategies for this guy, but I don't think we need him. I think we can just gun him down, because we're high level. Don't have to worry about it.
The edge of the mask on. Does he, or is that fake?
Yeah, he's done. Whatever, it's easy. If you are having trouble against that boss, if you kill off your own teammates before the counter starts, and then revive them after he casts it, you'll have people who live through the counter, and therefore he will have to cast the counter again. So that's good.
Questo. Questo.
Questo.
Questo.
Questo.
Questo.
That's what happens when you... I don't know. I can't... I'm trying to figure out how did you make that like into a presto pun, but I don't know how you do that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's no good. Alright, fine, just go. Yeah, whatever, they're gonna go down, because Rosa murders them. Their magical damage stat is very high, though. This bio is gonna hit very hard. So this is gonna be a race against the clock. But when Rosa's also swinging for 10,000, which again is not the case in the other versions of this game, it just doesn't matter. There we go. Normally those 2 ribbons go to Rosa and Rydia, but here's a catch. I already found a ribbon in Bahamut's cave, so I think actually Edge will get the 3rd ribbon now instead, and we'll actually keep him alive through all of the bullshit that's coming up.
Yay!
In most games, and again I'm very overleveled for where we need to be in the game right now, Edge will die and you don't have time to bring him back, so you just leave him down for the final fight. Most of the time.
Yeah,
But with a 3rd ribbon, I think he might actually stay up on his own. Report to come shortly.
I want a taco with anything on it right now, man.
Yeah, I do too. Now we're talking about tacos, and that's what I want.
Like, I don't even care what kind. Put some olives
any
on
taco.
it, fine, whatever.
Literally just a taco appear in front of me.
Yeah, sounds good.
It'd just be Taco Thursday.
A German taco.
Yeah, it was like a German beer hall.
Yeah.
I don't know how to describe. I haven't been in a long time. I would imagine they still do it because it was pretty popular, but I was always like, how? How are we here? How is this happening?
Interesting choice.
And they were real cheap. It was like $1.50 a taco or something.
Nice.
So we would go because it was like inexpensive and it was surprisingly good. One thing that I'm really proud of so far is that Josephine does not seem to have any issues with spicy things.
Nice.
Like, she eats them, and it's not like she has, like, a funny baby reaction. She just, like, eats stuff and is just, like, cool with it.
Nice.
Sounds like me.
Yeah, I've given her
eat
stuff
stuff
with,
and
like,
I'm
hot sauce
cool
in
with
it,
that.
just to see.
Yes, Darth
Because I'm like,
I
Plagueis.
definitely have baby reaction.
Like, worse than
The
she
random
won't eat
encounters
it,
down here in the Moon's Core use the boss music, which is nice. I agree.
because they're all hard.
Pogo Pogo!
We're finding these are
it,
not,
that
like,
name.
standard enemies. They're all, like, ridiculous.
That's gonna hit hard. 2 of those in a row is gonna hit even harder. Yep.
I really want them to have done like German beer hall tacos though, like schnitzel taco.
That'd be cool.
Taco was
We have a
schnitzel.
lot of really good Eastern European food in Cleveland. That is a thing.
Stabbed. I was like,
We may
Took a
have
stab at
also
it.
done that.
Alright, this is actually gonna be tough. This thing is outputting a lot of damage, and I'm not happy about that. It should die pretty quick, but like double tidal wave is a real threat.
did I?
There we go. That's the
Oh, I
last
want a
fight we
crusher
have to
too.
take down here.
Alright. Masamune!
And
We
it's
did
Edge's
it!
Mass Immune, yeah.
Get our butts up to 0 Muse.
No, put that ribbon on. I don't care if the Genji Helm is 1 point more physical defense. You better keep that thing on your body. Alright.
Yeah, sometimes that optimal button is really dumb.
Right? If you optimal either of the women, they'll unequip the bows, which, as you have seen, would be
Yes,
a
I know, and they
ridiculously
put the
stupid
stab.
idea.
I hate them.
Because, like, Rosa, again, slaughters dragons. Holy buckets. That red dragon, in every other edition of the game, is a 2-round fight, at least. It gets a chance to swing. Here,
Yeah.
like, because Rosa is an absolute beast, yeah, whatever. Cecil
Bam.
doesn't even have to act.
Yeah. Jesus.
I did not farm up a second Artemis bow for Rydia. They're also a 1 in 64 drop. I lucked out. I'm not fighting that. Alright, I want to be done in 10 minutes. Not fighting anything that takes more than a round to fight. Oh god, I'm definitely not fighting 2 things. Okay. This is the only floor of the game you can have to fight 2 of them at once, by the way. That's a nightmare fight. You don't want that. You don't want 3 red dragons either. We're out. Alright, B11 is the last floor here. Zemus's breath is so bad, it's its own manifestation, by the way.
Right? I was
Yeah,
just
I
thinking
know.
that. It was like, what did it do to be deserved to be called that?
I mean, his mind being evil is fine, but his breath being that bad is always very funny to me.
Right.
Alright. We should get a full heal as part of a cutscene here, but just in case, I want to cover my rear end.
Right.
Let's do this.
Spatula.
I was gonna keep talking about fun taco flavors, but I feel like I can't after Andrew's
Once we got to poop spatula. Yeah.
Alright, so here we are. We're going to watch them fight Zemus on our behalf. And they are going to
These
defeat...
have like some
guys.
creepy little fingers.
They're going to defeat Zemus, it turns out.
Avocado toast turned into. Oh, that's a good one. I'm laughing at myself. See, that's what's the good
I
thing
like
about not remembering
Okopogo
what
toast,
you
and
say.
that is Julian's definitely said Okopogo toast before. Probably when we
Don't
played
remember
Final
that
Fantasy
at
IV
all.
PSP.
I know.
All right, now they're gonna cast In the Super Nintendo, it was literally W Meteor. Here, it should say double Meteor, which is what they intended.
That's what that meant. Meteor, like some sort of like wear meteor or something. I don't know what I thought it was.
Similarly, in FF7 PSX, you can get the letter W item materia and the letter W summon materia that lets you do 2 actions.
Oh my goodness.
It's because they didn't have the text to put the word double on the screen. So Zemus dies. We have nothing to do. Victory. Let's go home.
You did it. You have so much strength. All right.
Edge, you'll get your shot, don't you worry. I love this fanfare.
Truly. Oh.
Oh, yes, and he lives on in spirit form. Very good. I really like that he has
it's like
a
such
blue...
silly fire face.
I like the blue aura around him now because it represents the blue sprite that he actually has at the start of the fight. That's cool. Zemus becomes Zeromus.
He's like so cute as a sprite though. It like, not that I don't know how you would.
He does look kind of cute.
It is cute.
Like a cute little fire, and then you see him and you're like, oh.
And you're like,
So,
that is something
weird trivia.
that
Meteor in this game and only this game is wholly elemental, which is how they code the absorption here.
Yeah.
Holy elemental, Batman!
There are just not very many spells that are wholly elemental. Or, sorry, not many enemies that absorb it. Zeromus happens to be one in this form only. So that when you fight him, Rosa can damage him with holy if you want. Catch is that Rosa heals every round in this fight. She does nothing else. Her only job is to keep you afloat. Because Zeromus can do this to you.
Too good.
Wham!
W's.
Suffer. Die! I love it. I also like that he gets, like, the normal boss fight music for that.
Yeah, after all this fiendish stuff.
Does that give away, though, that, like, you're not done?
I think so, yes.
Thoughts and prayers time!
Unless this is your first JRPG ever, you're like, you know that it's supposed to be, like, different music at the very end.
Yeah. It's absolutely thoughts and prayers time. This moment for thoughts and prayers moment in a JRPG is eclipsed only by Earthbound's thoughts and prayers moment, which is the best thoughts and prayers moment in gaming.
Gotta get Matthew Thompson back on and do more of that game.
Yeah, I won't spoil the ending there, because I think we should do it eventually.
I don't know it. I don't know it.
I have it on video to show my students whenever they need like a burst of like self-esteem. I'm like, this is what I do. This is what I look at when I want to feel good about myself. I look at the ending to Earthbound.
Moon, I call out to you. And this is a great use of this theme here. So heroic.
Yes.
Oh.
Jarrell Jones and Ader Bastos presented at VGM together that this theme comes up in Final Fantasy XIV whenever they need to reference like the franchise lore as opposed to the in-game Final Fantasy XIV lore. And every time it comes up in 14, you're like pumping your fist at its usage.
Free to play until level 60. Which includes the award-winning.
Yes, technically free, but any of you who don't already play should pay so you can join our free company and chat with us all the time. By the way, my
SNES
HP is healed.
translation-
My magic is not healed. So, hold on.
I don't think he
rude.
mentioned sins, but I don't remember if hell gets mentioned. I don't think so.
Yeah, that's like
The
slightly
PSP edition
more
absolutely
generic.
does mention that the crystal cannot cleanse your sins. That's a lift from previous editions. I don't know about...
Right, but what was SNES? Let's see if I can look up the game.
I'll bet the SNES script says the crystal cannot save you instead, because the word
Yeah,
sins
something
would have
like
been
that.
forbidden back then.
Yeah.
So, sneaky time.
Go to bed,
We
Andrew.
jump with Kane right before we do this, because we want Kane in the air when we hit Zeramus with the crystal. Now we're gonna get some killer music. I want to hear this arrangement so badly.
Yes.
Looks like a Metroid boss.
Got the fire.
Crap. She lives. That's brilliant. Oh god, that doesn't count. I didn't do it in time. Crap.
There's our motif. Ba, ba, da, da, da. Ba, na, na, na. Oh, 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 oh.
I'm turning up the music, gang.
Sorry.
You're good. Yeah, Flame was a desperate attempt. I shouldn't have done that.
And here we go. This is the moon part. Moon part. Moon part. Moon part. The rise of Forth reminds us of Baron Castle.
Wait, how did Zeramus heal for 10,000 right there? That's new.
Oh, wow. Oh, so there's no barrier on that shit?
Well, I can guarantee that both the word hell and the word sin do not appear, but I'm struggling to find what the actual line was. Because, you know, the script is dense.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
no, like, game facts where you could just go to the end.
I agree about the choir, by the
Well,
way. The
I'm
choirs
at
were
the
very
end.
good.
Zeromus then? Or is he still Zemus at that point?
He's Zeromus.
I think it's Zeromus at that point.
Okay, let's see. Says, I'm the absolute dark substance, product of Zemus's hatred. My name is Zeromus. I am the hatred. And then he later says, suffer and perish. My hatred will last, destroy all. Now it's your
Heads
turn
up.
to come into my darkness.
You can
So
have
what-
the damage of Big Bang. I just did it.
I think the line is come into my darkness instead of like say come to hell or go to hell or whatever.
Follow me to hell or whatever,
Follow
yeah.
me to hell, yeah. Come into my darkness is how they translate
Come
it.
into my darkness. Ooh,
That's pretty.
productive.
Yeah.
Nerf, 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 nerf.
Yeah, this is the conversation, the earlier spot where there was the choir. Like, it sounds like it could be something, but it's like not far enough forward in the mix to make out what they're saying.
I'm probably biased, but at the very start of the loop, I thought for sure they said Zeromus, just like the OC
Maybe they
remix
did.
does.
Yeah, me
That
too.
would surprise me if they did play it. know I said this when
Got
we
it.
played this game before, but like, this is such a Metroid boss.
Note that I got it right at 11 o'clock. I am very good at predicting how long this start of stuff is going to take.
Nice.
We will stay up a couple minutes to watch the ending at this point,
Unless
of
it's the
course.
Final Fantasy VII remake.
The ending is very
Or more
clever.
The ending is what, Julian?
It's clever in that there's not a lot of words, but a lot of right. That sense.
Yeah.
Bam.
Boom.
They were like one block away, and they're like, okay, yeah. I didn't get hurt.
It was good timing.
There's at least a touch of evil in its heart alongside goodness. That's right, I'm evil before coffee. You all just wait for tomorrow morning. The worst part of wearing a mask is that I cannot chug coffee while I lecture. Real talk.
Same.
Yep.
I can't bring it in, and I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, if you do iced coffee, you can kind of maybe get like a straw up underneath. But not ideal. Not ideal. But yeah, hot coffee season, it's,
Yeah.
you know, my thoughts and prayers go with you.
So they're all going to go home. That's what we're doing. You know what? That's a good thing to do when you're done. When you're done for the day, just go home.
That's true.
Not Golbez, though. I love this music, how it comes in one last time.
The family theme at this point.
Right? This is a fantastic musical choice for the ending. It's because Golbez feels he cannot return home. And the best part of After Years is Golbez wrestling with this decision, realizing he has to go back to save Earth at the end of the After Years. And his appearance in the plot is tremendously well done in After Years. That's pretty far into the game, though, so you actually have to play it a lot to get there.
There you go. Grinding.
Yeah, iced coffee with coffee ice cubes. It's a game changer for anyone who hasn't done it. Because my French press makes about 2 of my mugs worth, but then there's like an awkward like extra bit left over. So that's really good to just throw into a well of an ice cube tray.
I just love how Golbez is just like, thank you, like the end of an email. Like, I don't know, it's just something funny about that with the exclamation point.
You've got mail.
I think it's one of those times that trying to say more with the text would get clunky quickly, though. Like, I think that's the right response for him.
Well, no, but I think it's the exclamation point rather than a period that gets me.
Oh, okay.
That's how I end my email. It's just like, thank you. Like, okay. To the registrar. Okay. I don't know why. Anyway, this is cool. I really love the ending theme. All the ending music.
Yes. I'm eager to hear it, too.
Best wishes, Golbez.
Best wishes.
That is a really fast orbit.
Right?
For sure.
Like, if they're gonna have the text crawl this slow, they do not have to have the planets orbiting that fast.
I will note that the Mysidian legend continues here, right? You only get the first 2 stanzas the entire rest of the game, and now you get the rest at the end.
The moon would set forth on a voyage, and then you see it happen. It's like, bye.
Yeah.
See ya.
I'm the moon. I'm leaving. This will not affect anything about climate.
Hope you didn't want tides.
Yeah.
They address that in the After Years, actually. That's the plot, is that...
Oh, that's cool.
Oh.
There's a new
Old-fashioned.
moon that's coming and on a collision course
You
with Earth
genius.
here, and it causes shifts in the moon's phases and problems with the tides and the pull of gravity.
I'm glad that they deal with that. That's cool.
Ooh, this theme is very
Trying to get, like, the
1980s now,
majory.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes. I don't know why it's like this, but it is.
I'm here for it.
'Cause it's definitely
I
not
could
what
I
it
could have
is
used
in
it
the
even
original.
cheesier than this.
Dark Sword, I actually think they should do an After Years Pixel Remaster. Because right now, it's hard to call this the definitive version of the game when there's so much
Ooh,
more
the moon
content
thing.
on the PSP.
The wee. Yeah, they got some moon in there.
I like Palom and Porum's arc in After Years as well.
Alright, so we're all gonna go to Pete's house, and he's gonna make a big batch of cold fashions.
Yes. Gramps.
Black.
Gramps
Way better
gets a
than
name.
Kahlua.
I forget
Okay.
what it is, though.
Intrigued. Nice urban, ultra popular. What about Cluya? Ah, brilliant!
Had to do it. Had to do it.
So
Very good.
good.
What you are on the inside. Isn't that right, Cecil? She's gonna be like she should be a grandma by the time she comes to the wedding. She
Right?
went there.
It's true.
Wow.
My king.
Wow.
Excuse you, Yang.
Now, one of
Hit him
the
over the head again.
One of the excellent additions in translation that the PSP edition of Final Fantasy IV adds from After Years is that Yang's wife's name is Sheila. She's a big character in After Years. And the FF4 main game translation has her as Sheila the entire time. Why don't they borrow that from there? That's a smart lift. They should have done.
Instead
Sorry,
of Yang's
picky.
wife.
Instead of Yang's
Yeah.
wife.
I know.
Right?
That's
I'm trying to imagine if like Joe asked me to call him my king. Like what my reaction would be.
Dark Sword, I think the two of us are the only people that played Final Fantasy Dimensions. I'm convinced it's just us. I mean, agree.
I don't even know
haven't
what
played so many Final
Dimensions
Fantasies.
is.
There are some, and like I've played very few Zeldas, which Joe made a reference the other day to Ocarina of Time, and I didn't react, and he was like, "Wait," and I was like, "I didn't play that one," and he was very shook because I think he's forgotten that I haven't played so many of the ones that are like top tier.
Canonical, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
we
I didn't
passed
do
over
Wind
it.
Waker, I didn't do. I passed over it. I mean, I didn't keep up with the consoles I needed. I didn't have the money to do that.
I
Yeah,
meant
well,
we passed
there's
over
that.
Edward. The one weird writing thing is that Edward no longer mourns Anna in After Years because he has a new love interest, Harley, the dominatrix secretary.
I thought she was like a hot
I hate
librarian.
She's got
I thought
librarian
we were-
vibe, but her
library.
weapon is the whip.
Right. I remember the dominatrix part. I thought that we had just coded her as librarian last time.
She's
you
definitely
mentioned
like hot librarian trope. Quistis.
it. Okay. Yeah, we said she was Quistis.
Yeah.
Quistits.
Alright.
Never forget.
Never forget.
The only problem with After Years is the final dungeon is 40 floors too long. You don't need an 80 floor dungeon. You don't.
I like the town in the underworld where they say tally-ho and they're like, lally-ho? No, we say tally-ho here.
Yeah, that's a great
got
spot. Kane's arc in After Years is tremendous. Yeah, it's all a good game until the very last chapter. All right, new track 2 here. Look, Choreo gets a name, but Sheila doesn't. Screw that.
Yeah, some dumb shit.
Oh, that's nice. I need to go get that, because I'm, what, 4 full play days of starting Shadowbringers? Maybe 5. All right, Andrew, go to bed. We'll see you next week.
Oh my god, we told you to go to... Come on. Go to bed.
I've done that. I've totally dropped... I'll be like trying to read like a Kindle thing on my phone.
I always drop it on my face.
I've done that many times. Many times.
It's like... Here we go.
Yes, this is good.
The triumphant version. Da 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 da.
Oh, da 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 da. That was so good. You're not wrong. Oh, this is cute. Yeah, Rosa's not like, call me my queen, gang. You're not even in your dress yet, Rosa.
Oh, it was farewell in the original, and I like that better than so long. Golbez isn't the sort of person who says so long. He says farewell.
Peace out.
Right?
He says, thanks, best wishes, warmly. Golbez.
This roll call ending is right out of Final Fantasy III, for what it's worth.
Really disappointed they don't have like awesome wedding attire. They're just like in the stuff they always wear. Come on. It's one
Put a shirt
palette
on,
swap.
Yang.
You can manage a friggin' palette swap.
Right? It just occurred to me, because we're getting a Pixel Remaster of 6, the ending to 6 is an unbroken 19-minute track.
Yes.
I want that.
That I rarely hear because, you know, how often do you beat the game?
Right.
This is that scene I love. It's so clever because no one says anything, but everyone acts like their character would be, and all you have are sprites. It's just like really cute and clever and well done.
Yeah, even the small details, like Edward doesn't bow to Cecil because he's a king now too, right? But everybody else does.
Yeah, like tiny things, yeah. And then like Edge turning around because he doesn't look at Rydia.
Yeah. The small moment between Rydia and Rosa there, and then Rydia stops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh.
Again, the little flourish from Palom. Of course he does that, right?
I love this next track. Bum, 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 bum. Come on. Bum, bum, ba, da, da, dun, dun, da, da, da.
Oh, that's really sweet.
Thank you.
So I told myself I was going to both finish my lab sheet for tomorrow and do the Kefka event fight in Final Fantasy XIV tonight. That's not happening. I'm going to do the lab sheet and go to bed. Kefka will have
Sounds
to wait.
good. Yeah.
Kefka can be a Friday night project.
That sounds good. It's bedtime.
Gonna get the Red Wings motif in major-ish mode. Not really major. After
The
this
grass is
part.
so good here.
Yeah, this is a really good arrangement of this.
There it is.
It sounds even more Star Wars here.
Yeah.
It really does. No, yeah. Then repeat.
Part of it is that we're seeing like stars flying at us and
Yeah.
the scroll text has like that Star Wars vibe
If only
to
we're
it.
a little angled. Yeah.
If it were just a little bit this way.
After this, it's the main theme that plays until the end of the credits, and the credits are like 20 minutes.
Right, once the main theme comes in, we'll start fast-forwarding a little bit. I want to say, if you all have not seen it, there's a very short interview that's super cute with one of the arrangers for these Pixel remasters, where he says that he feels like he was very empowered to make the changes that he and the rest of the arrangers made to these tracks, because Uematsu said to them, like, I chose you for this project because I want your take on these pieces, right? I trust you to do this. So don't think of what I would do. Like, I chose you for a reason.
Nice. That's really cool.
Good job, Uematsu. Advisor Uematsu. There we go.
That's Star Wars.
I know, I love it.
That was very Star Wars.
And that's in the original. Like, that's not added.
No.
Yeah.
Yes. Good cadence there. All right.
Neat.
Yay!
All right, fun fact, I can't skip this. But the stream needs to end. It's late.
Yes, it's fine.
So
there's no secret at the end, as far as I know.
So what are we doing next week?
I don't know yet. Something that's not a JRPG, though. We should do something
That'd be great.
kind of palate cleanse us between this and Final Fantasy VI. I had a suggestion that a game we could look at briefly was there have been a number of Metroidvania-style games that have come out in the past 3 weeks, including a new official Metroid title.
Yes.
But there's also one that I did not know this until she tweeted about it, made by 2 trans women from the Global South that was recently released on Xbox Games Pass. So I have it gratis, of course. And the kids got it just because they download everything on Game Pass that they're allowed to. And it looks really good. So I wouldn't mind taking a look at that the name of it escapes me, and if I open my browser right now, the computer will die. So I can't check.
Let's just bookmark that in our minds.
Yes, I will look it up later and we'll add it to the sheet. But we'll do something next week. Who knows what?
And as always,
Yay.
if anybody has any requests, let us know. We do keep a record of everything.
Mm-hmm. For now, we are going to say good night, team. And we'll be back next week. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Good night, folks.